Dear students, in the last video we have discussed about India's different name like Saptasindhu, Aryavart, Bharatvarsha, Hindustan and India. So we come to know that how India got its name. Today we shall discuss about the different sources of history. Let us start. So we will start with the sources of history, the buildings or monuments. In the medieval times, different types of buildings like temples, mosques, forts, tombs, palaces were constructed. Careful study of these buildings tell us a lot about the art, architecture and social, economic and political life of the period in which they were constructed. Some of the examples are as follows. Important forts and palaces: Red Fort at Delhi, Agra Fort, Gwalior Fort, Palace at Jaipur and Jaisalmer, Golconda Fort, Mandu Fort and etc. So you can see in this picture the Agra Fort is given here. It is a very famous building in Agra, and you better know the Agra is famous for one more, a grand building, Taj Mahal. It is famous all over the world for its architecture and beauty. Now, important mosques: Jama Masjid, Moti Masjid. Jama Masjid is situated in Delhi. Temples: Brihadeshwara Temple at Tanjore, Khajuraho Temple in Madhya Pradesh, Sun Temple at Konark, Dilwara Temple and Golden Temple in Amritsar. So you can see how grand the temple is, the Brihadeshwara Temple. Tombs: Humayun's tomb, Taj Mahal, Safdarjung tomb. Taj Mahal and other monuments. Besides those mentioned above, buildings like Qutub Minar, Char Minar, Victory Tower, etc. were also constructed. This building is Char Minar at Hyderabad. Now, so these given buildings in these pictures were constructed during the Sultanate period and the Mughal period. Now we will discuss about the coins prevalent during medieval periods. Coins were issued by various rulers which depict the date and at times show the picture of ruler. Metals used in these coins tell us about the economic state of the kingdom. During medieval periods, the gold coins were known as mohurs and the silver coins were known as tankas. Now we will discuss about the biographies and autobiographies. So, what is biography? Biography is an story of a person's life written by some other person, and autobiography. An autobiography is a self written story. Biographies and autobiographies of rulers give an insight into the ruler's life and the social, economic, and political life during that period. For example, Aine Akbari, written by Abul Fazl. Underline this point. Aine Akbari, written by Abul Fazl, gives an insight into Akbar's administration. Tuzuke Jahangiri, written by Jahangir, and Babar Nama by Babar. So these are the autobiographies. Similarly, we come to know about Prithviraj from Prithviraj Raso. Prithviraj Raso is written by Chand Bardai. Underline this point. Prithviraj Raso is written by Chand Bardai. Thus, biographies and autobiographies are a descriptive source. Now, travelogues. Travelogues are the interesting sources of history. Travelogues means an account of travel written by a traveler. A number of foreign travelers visited India during medieval times and have left an account of what they observed. It really helps us to know about the India of that period. Some of the people who wrote travelogues are Ibn Battuta about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Underline this point. Ibn Battuta has written an account about Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Marco Polo has written an account about South India. Al-Biruni has written an account about Balban. Abdul Razzaq was an Persian traveler who has given an account of the Vijayanagara kingdom. Now, paintings and artifacts. Paintings and artifacts are the good source of history. Painting, artifacts, and descriptions of music and cultural aspects tell us about the culture of medieval times. We also have other sources like religious literature, inscriptions, and various documents which were either the orders of the rulers or land records, or the correspondence between the rulers, which help in reconstructing the history of medieval times. For the medieval times, we have a lot of written accounts, but historians face lots of difficulties in reading these records due to various reasons. Let us see why there are problems in interpreting the past. Now we will discuss about the problems faced by historians. What were the problems faced by the historians? Quality of source. In the past, records were maintained for their immediate use and not for people to interpret after thousands of years. The following aspects also affected the quality of source, like there were no printing machines, no common languages existed, so there were many languages and dialects. The material used for inscriptions were derived from stones, metals, parchments, barks, and paper. With time, they have eroded in quality and faded in color. As copying was not with the help of carbon, papers, or reprints, there are variations in the versions available at different places. Now, interpretation of source. Interpretation means explanation of source. It is an extremely difficult task to understand a script which is not currently in use. Even more difficult is to understand words and phrases which are not in use in modern languages, as all the writings were manuscripts, handwritten. It is something like reading from your friend's notebook who has a poor handwriting. There are discrepancies in understanding and interpretations of things which were written in those times. Historians find differences in copies and different versions which give out conflicting information. Therefore, it is not easy to reconstruct historical happenings. There were no calendars, clocks, or dates, and timings are vague. The places and their identity are not clear as the maps were, poor and not accurate. It is due to these variations in understanding that historians have to be very meticulous in understanding, interpreting, and reconstructing things of the past for our understanding. Dear students, in the next video, we shall discuss about the development of trade and travel, social changes, religious changes, political development, and cultural development during medieval period. Thank you.